Good evening. My name is Cordia, and this is Insurance Talk Tuesday with CCI Protection. The mission of CCI Protection is to serve, to educate, and to protect. And so, we want to do our part in educating about insurance, so we're making these videos available. We'll just jump right in. Last week, we discussed the U coverage, the coverage that helps you out in the event of an accident, but we didn't quite get through all of the coverages. So, recapping from the very top, your auto policy, and that's what we're talking about, auto insurance, personal auto insurance, breaks down into three parts, right? So, there is the coverage for them, and we did discuss them coverage, which was the liability. There's the coverage for you, which are the optional coverages and the coverages that help you out in the event of an accident. And then there's coverage for the vehicle. And so we're going through all three. We are now on the coverage for you, and we talked about uninsured, underinsured last week. This week we're going to dive into our other two optional coverages, which are personal injury protection and medical payments, right? And so those two coverages, and we talked about the fact that a signature was required if you didn't have it. And so for personal injury protection, which I'll just say PIP, you may have heard of PIP before. Now you know what it stands for. But PIP, if it is not on the policy, just like uninsured, underinsured protection, you will need a rejection form saying that you are aware that it's not on the policy and you reject that coverage, right? Medical payment, you do not have to sign that, but those two coverages are interchangeable. So you'll have medical payments or you'll have PIP, right? The limits on those two coverages, PIP, normally the standard limit is $2,500, but you are able to raise it depending on the carrier. Sometimes you can make it a higher limit. Medical payments is a $2,000 limit. Again, with that one, you can usually increase that with the carrier as well. So big differences. What are the differences in the PIP and the medical payment, right? So medical payment would give you those funds in the event that you have an accident. Doesn't matter who's at fault for this, but it would put those funds towards medical bills that you accrued because of the accident, right? So it can only go towards medical bills, right? So medical payments, that's the name of the coverage, right? And so that's that one, opposed to the personal injury protection or the PIP, at the $2,500 or higher limit, depending on where you have it. That's a broader coverage. So with PIP, if I have to be off work for 2 or 3 days because of the accident, I can use that $2,500 to compensate my lost wages. If I have a large major medical deductible and I need some help getting that kick-started so that I can take care of myself from the accident, then I can use those funds for that. You can, of course, use it towards medical bills, just like with medical payments, but it has a few additional uses that you can take advantage of when you do the PIP. So just a broader coverage. It'll afford a little bit more for you. Typically, if it's more coverage, it costs a little more, right? Not usually a large portion of the premium overall when we're looking at these optional coverages, but the personal injury protection or the PIP is going to be more than the medical payments because obviously it's providing a little more coverage, right? And so that's you though. So someone hits you or you hit someone, doesn't matter, right? So you run into the back of John's car this time, right? You run into the back of John's car, you're hurt, you have your wife with you, you have your 2 children in the back, everyone's hurt in the vehicle. You are able to take advantage of that $2,500 limit or whatever the limit is on your policy for each individual person in your car. And the same is for medical payments, right? And so that's the idea is that, hey, these are the coverages, the optional coverages, the U coverages that are going to help you out in the event of an accident. So we learned about the coverage that helps them, right? And so now we're learning about the coverages that actually help you in the event that an accident happens. And the really great thing about the PIP and medical payments is it doesn't matter who's at fault for those. So for that, you're able to take advantage of it if you have it on your policy. Okay? Alrighty, dighty. I won't hold you guys long. That was the interview, especially since last week ran a little bit longer than I anticipated. Uninsured, underinsured is a pretty complicated subject, so I did want to make sure that I was clear. But PIP and medical payments went pretty quickly. So we are done with you. And next week, we will dive right into the coverage for the vehicle. And we'll conclude. More than likely, we have collision, we have comprehensive, we have rental reimbursement, we have roadside assistance, we have gap insurance. So more than likely going to need to split the coverage for the vehicle into two parts, since there are quite a few coverages that fall in that category. So I will see you guys next week. Have a great night. Please feel free to reach us online, cciprotection.com, or call us directly at 800-513-4929 with any additional insurance questions. Have a good one.